Hello and welcome back to the When You're Podcast, the podcast for when you're doing anything. Today we're talking about when you're enjoying ice cream on a hot summer day. Guys, I need to talk about this because you know the feeling when the sun is just scorching your skin off. I mean, it's melting your flesh. Just that moment when you feel like you can't get any hotter. You feel like you're literally burning out there. You know what I'm saying? You feel as if you're walking in the sun rather than on this planet, away millions of miles away from the sun. It feels like there's nothing you can do. It feels like genuine killing you heat, okay? But there's a lot of things we do to cool ourselves down, okay? There's so many things. AC, we have fans, water, ice perhaps. There are a lot of things, okay? There's so many things that we do to cool down, to get really, to lower our body temperature, okay? But what I'm thinking about is more delicious. I am talking about a top tier dessert, all right? I'm not going to say it's for everybody because some people are lactose intolerant, but I will say this. It is without a doubt, when it hits, right? Like when you need it and it revitalizes you. It brings you back. It takes you from the cold and it makes you just appreciate your life all that much more. I am, of course, talking about the ever so delicious ice cream. Ice cream. And you know what? Let's be a little more specific about it. I'm talking about like soft serve ice cream, okay? Obviously, all ice cream is cool. They sell them in those pints. No, what's the right word? They sell them in those, at the store, in those little things, in those, I don't know, packages. I don't know what the right term is for those. But let's just call them, those big pints, okay? They sell them in that, all right? And because they sell them in that, you know what that means? It's not that it's like any less better than soft serve or soft serve's any more better than they are. I'm just talking about like that moment when you need the ice cream, you know what I'm saying? And that's just when it kicks in. That's when it holds you. I'm just using soft serve because I like soft serve. Specifically, you know what I mean? But anyways, my point being, it's hot outside. Just imagine the imagery, okay? I'm gonna paint a picture into your mind. There's no clouds in the sky. It's a big blue sky, okay, with no clouds up there, all right? Nothing to shade you. There's no trees around. Hot concrete all around you, okay? You're not in your car, all right? Let's just assume you're not in your car. You don't have the AC on. You don't have a fan. There's nothing you can really do, okay? But you're outside, and it's hot, all right? We're talking about minimum 90 degrees, okay? You're out there. The sun is literally, it's so bright that you need sunglasses. Like if you don't have sunglasses, like if you're not wearing sunglasses, you know that your corneas are going to be burnt off. Like you're just really getting them so burnt, okay? We're talking about like the kind of sunlight that, you know how in those movies where they kidnap somebody and then they take off their hood or whatever, the bag over their head, and then they wake up and they're like in a sort of daze, and you're kind of like, they're outside but it's really bright, and you're just like, man, it's a huge shock, you know what I'm saying, for your eyes to adjust to the sunlight. I'm talking about that, okay? I'm talking about that bright. And it's hot. But there's one thing that changes all of that. You have a cone in your hand. And what's in the cone? It's ice cream. That ice cream can be topped with, it could be any kind of ice cream for you, okay? Everybody's different. Everybody, my taste buds aren't the same as yours, okay? But let's just say it's vanilla, just because it's a universal flavor. All right, so you have this ice cream, and you think to yourself, wow, it's hot, but I feel weirdly peaceful. I feel good. I feel all right. I feel like no matter what happens, I'm going to eat this ice cream and I'm going to challenge the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just sit around and let the heat kill me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do whatever it takes to beat this heat, okay? And not only am I going to beat the heat with this ice cream, all right? I'm not going to let the heat take my ice cream, all right? Because it's trying to melt it. It's trying to melt my ice cream, your ice cream. Think about that. The heat is trying to take it from you. Are you going to just let it? Is that what you're planning to do? Is that what you want? You want them to take your ice cream? You can't let the heat take your ice cream. Not from your beautiful hands, all right? You can't allow that. And then what? What? What happens when they take your ice cream? It melts. And then what happens when it melts? It drips all over your hand onto the floor. It feels like it's slipping between your fingertips. You can't allow it. You can't allow the coolness, the deliciousness, the creaminess, the absolute sugary, sweet, divine pleasure that ice cream is. You can't allow it to slip between your fingertips, between your hands, okay? You can't let it fall on the ground. You can't let the heat take it from you. You need that ice cream. And that ice cream, it gives you such joy. You enjoy that ice cream. You're happiest when you're eating that ice cream on that hot day, and you felt like you never would have made it through. You feel like as long as you eat that ice cream before the heat takes it away from you, everything will be okay. It's not like water, you know what I mean? It's not like water's delicious. Water's amazing. Especially on a hot day, okay? It's a beautiful thing. Ice water, I mean, come on, you know? That could save anybody. It literally saves everyone. But I do it for survival. There's a difference, okay? I'm talking about a difference here, okay? Now, do I enjoy water? Yes, I enjoy water, and I especially appreciate water, all right? It is a amazing drink. It is a full of life drink, okay? It gives me life, but I don't find huge amounts of pleasure in that drink, okay? It's survival. It's a necessity. My body needs it. It craves it. It's a want. I mean, it's a need. But what I want, what my taste buds deserve, what they are trying to beat this heat with is this ice cream, okay? Now, everybody can have their own ice cream. I'm talking about, like, it doesn't have to just be a cone. It could be a cup. It could be a hot fudge sundae. It could be a banana split. It could be any array or kind of ice cream, you know, thing that you can make up in your mind, right? It could be an ice cream sandwich. But listen, you're not gonna let the heat take that from you, okay? You're not gonna allow that. Water is a necessity. We need that to survive, okay? We drink it, it refreshes us, it brings us back to life, you know what I'm saying? It's needed, okay? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but the enjoyment, the absolute joy I get from enjoying my ice cream on that hot summer's day, there's no other feeling like it, you know? It just feels like... It feels like, in a way, okay, I will say, in a way, the heat forces us to get the ice cream. Now, listen to me, okay? Because with water, if you put water and ice, right? Or if you put ice and water, it gets cool and then the ice will melt into more water and you can drink the water, all right? And it'll still be cold, all right? It'll it'll perspire and you'll still get that coldness from it. But with the ice cream, nobody wants to eat melted ice cream or drink it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, some people like smoothies and milkshakes, but I'm just talking specifically the ice cream, okay? You don't want to like sip it, you know what I mean? You want to just enjoy it. You want to eat it. So what am I really getting at here, okay? I'm saying that the heat puts us on a timetable, all right? And it's in that timetable that we have to really attack it. We have to really want it, okay? With water will be fine. You know, if the ice melts and the water gets, you know, diluted down, or if it starts warming up a little bit, we have more time to savor it and enjoy it. But with the ice cream, we have a timetable on there, right? It might be a few seconds before, as soon as the sun hits it, okay? It'll start to destroy itself, all right? It'll slowly start to melt. And that's when we have to make the decision that this whole thing, the whole lot of it, all right, all of it needs to be eaten by us. We must enjoy that ice cream. It is up to us to enjoy that ice cream. Do you see what I'm saying? We only get one life, and every summer we know it's going to get hot, all right? We know it is. So on the hottest day of the year, all right, and it's only the beginning of summer, all right? We've only just begun, and we're about to get even deeper into summer, all right? And if you think that I'm not going to enjoy ice cream on those hot summer days, you are out of your mind. Now, everybody's different. People are vegans. They don't enjoy ice cream like that. Or there are some positive and healthier alternatives for people who are going on diets, for vegans, vegetarians, people out there who don't enjoy, people who are also lactose intolerant, all right? There's frozen yogurt, okay? There are any assortment of other possibly vegan ice creams out there. I don't know what they are, but they're definitely out there, all right? I am not just speaking to people who can tolerate the lactose. I am talking to people who have something in their grasps that they want to enjoy, and the heat is taking it from you. It is trying to take away your nourishment, your right for cream that is iced. It is trying to melt it all away from you. And I, for one, am not having it. You gotta enjoy it. Enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It would be one thing if let's say, for instance, I'm trying to think of like another cold item. It would be one thing if it was like a cold, I mean, they have crushed ice, you know what I'm saying? But it's just ice or snow cones, right? But what I'm holding on to is ice cream, okay? Like, there's shaved ice is good, you know what I mean? Snow cones are delicious, Slurpees, slushies, all that stuff. Popsicles, all of that. Fantastic, you know what I'm saying? They're great. But we all know what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about that ice cream. And there's kind of like this universal approval or understanding that when you see somebody eating an ice cream, you think two things, okay? You're like, that's a brilliant idea. Or you say to yourself, no. I was going to say, where could I get one? But it just kind of like, not everybody wants it, but I'm saying is like, when was the last time I had one? That's the other thing people ask themselves. They go like that, you know, they go to themselves and they go like, they're at awe, all right? Those are the two things on their mind. They kind of just thinking to themselves like, wow, you know what I mean? that looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can universally agree that when you see somebody eating an ice cream, you think to yourself, man, you know, that looks amazing. That looks delicious. That they're really living life. You know what I'm saying? I remember I would watch this episode of SpongeBob, and he was trying to get this like strawberry ice cream. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But SpongeBob was trying to get this ice cream, and this guy kind of like cuts him in line and takes his ice cream. Well, it doesn't take his ice cream, but he cuts in front of him. He gets the ice cream for himself, and then SpongeBob is like, can I get one? And the guy's like, we're all out. And I was like, dang it. You know what I'm saying? I was sad for Sponge. I was heartbroken for him. You know what I mean? But then Plankton came by and gave him some ice cream and whatnot. And I remember watching SpongeBob eat his ice cream all crazy. And I thought to myself, I was like, that's the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get the ice cream all over your face and you be crazy and stuff, right? Just like messed up. And then he just like, every 2 seconds, he's like, you know what I'm saying? He's like devouring every piece of the ice cream. And I thought to myself, I was just like, okay, I'm not that wild about it anymore. And I was like, why not? It's ice cream. Why shouldn't I go wild on that ice cream cone? You know what I'm saying? And then Patrick was trying to get SpongeBob to be more assertive and mean, but you know, not a good thing. My point is that ice cream cone, all right? It affected me because SpongeBob needed it. He wanted it, okay? It was something that was important to him, and I felt like it felt wrong to kind of like see somebody struggle for something that they want and then not be able to have it. You know what I mean? Especially that ice cream cone. But anyways, back to the main point here, okay? All of that was just kind of like to point out our feelings, our perceptions about ice cream, okay? You ever see in the movies when it's like maybe a kid's like having an ice cream cone and then he drops the ice cream cone or whatnot? Oh, here's another brilliant part of like being sad about like ice cream being wasted, okay? It was in Lilo and Stitch. There is this guy who is sunburnt like crazy, and he's still out there in the sun, all right? He's taking it like a champ, okay? But he has this ice cream cone in his hands, and it's like a mint chocolate chip ice cream. He's trying to enjoy it numerous times in the movie. Oh, maybe like a few times. Maybe once or twice. I can't for sure recall the amount of times he was trying to eat his mint chocolate chip ice cream. My point being is he's trying to enjoy this ice cream, and somehow or another, it keeps on getting knocked out of his cone. It keeps on getting destroyed right in front of him. And I thought to myself, maybe it was just the one time. I can't really recall multiple instances, but let's just say it is multiple instances, okay? I felt bad for that man. You know why? Because he was just trying to beat the heat. Now, was he laying in the heat for too long? Yes, you know what I mean? At a certain point, you know what I mean? You just have to kind of get rid of the sunburntness of it all. But ultimately, he was trying to beat the heat with that ice cream cone, okay? And then comes Lilo and Stitch, and they always knock it out of his cone or destroy it from him. And I thought to myself, I was like, dang, dude, the guy just wanted his ice cream. You know what I mean? He didn't ask for all this alien stuff to come and ruin the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Ice cream, summer. It's a fight. It's a battle. You know? It's it's the prime time to eat ice cream, but the heat is trying to take it from us. Isn't that something? Isn't that crazy? That I personally don't typically eat, a lot of ice cream when it's cold out, you know what I mean? The winter time is not my go-to time for ice cream, okay? It's possibly a warm soup and hot bread of sorts, you know what I'm saying? Warm, delicious meals and hot cocoa. And summertime is about the ice cream, okay? This is you know what? This is what companies know to be true, okay? They already know all of this. They know that you have to enjoy your ice cream quickly. They know that you're going to have to eat it during the summertime to get the enjoyment and the pleasure. And it works, all right? I'm not saying that they're doing anything wrong. They're not exploiting us. They're just trying to help us achieve what our desires are, okay? And that's the ice cream. That's the frozen yogurt. That's the popsicle. That's whatever it is that you use to cool down, all right? But what I'm trying to get at here is ice cream is an enjoyment that is fleeting from our fingertips, okay? This world is only getting hotter and hotter and hotter, but ice cream remains the same. We must enjoy it while we can. That's really what it's all about, is just enjoying that ice cream. Because you know what? It's gonna melt. It's gonna melt right in front of you. It's gonna slip right in between your fingertips, and your hand's gonna get all sticky, and then you're gonna try to let me get a napkin and wipe it off. And then you're like, well, and then you look at the napkin, it's all gross and disgusting. Your hand's still sticky because you need to wash your hands. But washing your hands would mean that you'd have to give up your cone or put your cone in your other hand. And the cone is all sticky and covered in ice cream. And now you're just kind of wasting more and more ice cream, all right? This is what I'm trying to tell you. You're wasting the ice cream more and more and more. All right, you gotta savor it. You gotta attack it. You gotta get every single drop of it, to eat it, to enjoy it. And if you don't, then you're just gonna let it melt, and then it's no good to you. Then it's not as delicious. You ever try, refreezing melted ice cream? It's not good. Not good. Not good at all. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but it has to be fresh. It has to be right then and there. And that's why I use the soft serve analogy, because the soft serve is they do it right there in front of you, and the ones you buy in the store, the ones in the pints, those ones are, you know what I'm saying? You can take them out, scoop it, put it back. It's not as fresh, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's the difference between making something from scratch or getting something served right in front of you at the time, as opposed to as opposed to it's sitting in the fridge for you. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes any sense at all. So anyways, long story short, I had an ice cream. I had it's a small hot fudge sundae with peanuts on top and a cherry. And it was a really hot day. And I was sitting there eating that thing. And I remember thinking to myself, this was the pick-me-up I needed. This was a top-tier feeling. This was a good moment that I needed to truly enjoy the weather. So, it's all about tolerating the heat. It's all about beating the heat. And this ice cream can do it. It can beat the heat. But you gotta grasp onto it quickly. You gotta enjoy it quickly while you can. So, that's essentially the whole deal. I feel like as we get deeper and deeper into summer, we're gonna slowly but surely see all around the world people eating ice cream or enjoying a nice cold snack of sorts, right? I hope if you're out there, people, if you listen to this, if you learn anything from this podcast, all right, it's to get an ice cream cone and beat the heat, all right? Because then you'll inspire other people to beat the heat by having ice cream, all right? That's all it's all about. So, thank you guys so much for listening. I'll talk to you guys all next time. Go get that ice cream. Go get it right now, all right? Thank you guys so much. Take care. Thank you.